So I understand that you both of you have SAP experience already, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so that means that I don't have to walk you through the exploration of SAP screens and other things and all. You know how to use a transaction code, differences between slash and slash o and all, right? So we can straightly get into that things. Okay, so generally to start to have a quick start. SAP Variant Configuration. SAP Variant Configuration is a module that is very widely used in make-to-order scenarios generally, and again, originally it has been designed or developed to address make to order scenarios. Okay, so this is the course content. This covers all the every aspects in SAP Variant Configuration, be from whether it is a SD part of Variant Configuration, or PP part of Variant Configuration, or PLM part of Variant Configuration, or even MM part of Variant Configuration. It covers everything along with advanced Variant Configuration also. Advanced Variant Configuration in the sense how the knowledge base developed in SAP Variant Configuration could be used or could be uploaded in the could be uploaded in the cloud server, or in a web server to consume that knowledge base for a product configuration purpose with the web-based UI and all. That comprises advanced variant configuration, and the S4 HANA all are coming along with that. Basically, these are all this entire document have the course content of variant configuration, but I may not be covered that chronically as it has been listed here, because when we go with the flow, I may take the characteristics creation, or then again I may skip to the dependency. I will not cover it in a cogent order. I will try to cover this over a period of time, but not in this order, because just for the comfort of understanding, or just for the comfort, the flow of moving the course, I may shift from the unit 2 to unit 7 also sometimes, because that you will understand why it is happening like this. But again, over a period of committed time, I will cover the entire content which is committed over here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so generally, SAP Variant Configuration. SAP Variant Configuration is the module that has been designed to address the product variants and product configuration process. And over a period of time, it has been used where and all the variant and the combinations of the permutations and combinations of input determine the output. So where and all it is coming. So nowadays it started been using that one. The SAP is also enhancing to address the output determination based on your combination of input as a concept. Basically, to start this course, the entire content, let us take a laptop as an example. Laptop is a very good example, or a basic example, that will help us to understand the product configuration concept. Generally, it is a good example, or a very understandable example to explain the product configuration concept, generally, because it is having multiple variants that is determining the product. So for example, let us take okay, before getting into that, one primary question is there. One primary question, such as, why variant configuration is required to me. I already have a SAP SD in place, production planning in place. I have implemented my ERP and supply solutions in SAP. All of a sudden, why I need a SAP variant configuration? A quick example, we can say it is, say, let us take a laptop example. Laptop configuration. In that, if you say RAM configuration, in that I have 8 GB RAM, 16 GB RAM, 32 GB RAM, or I can have one more example also, 4 GB RAM. Okay, I have 4 variants in my RAM. And hard disk drive, I have 500 GB hard disk, and 1 TB hard disk, 2 TB hard disk, and 6 TB hard disk. And again, in operating system, I have Windows 10, Linux, and Red Hat, and Windows Server. And in the color, say red, black, gray, and white. And screen size say 12 inches, 14 inches, and 15.4 inches, like this. And what else you can say? Keyboards. There are multiple options of keyboard also will be available. One is standard English, French, and German, so Chinese, something like that. So keyboard options: standard, French, German, and Chinese. So the features of laptop, a simple example of laptop can be defined with this parameters: a parameter of RAM, parameter of hard disk drive, operating system, color, screen size, and keyboard. I'm just taking a very simple example for a product that is having multiple variant, which is getting varied by here some 6 parameters: RAM, hard disk drive, operating system, color, screen size, and keyboard. So every parameter is having, every parameter is having some 4 to 5 values. So the number of BOM you have to maintain, to sell or to produce a simple laptop itself, will vary. The permutation combination of, say, I have I have four variants in RAM, into 4 variants in operating system, into again 4 variants into color, for 4 variants of color, into, and 3 variants of screen size, into, and again 4 variants of my keyboard. So I may have to maintain 768 bombs just to have a simple laptop simple laptop variants. I have to maintain 768 bombs to manufacture or sell this laptop. But there are products, or normally there are products which will be having variants of some, hundreds of variants, with hundreds and hundreds of options with it. So you have to maintain BOM for all those combination permutations and combination. It is practically not possible. You may have to maintain millions and millions of bomb inside your SAP system, which is practically not possible, or a huge burden on data maintenance. So that is why variant configuration comes into the picture as a module to provide the solution. So what you do, it is you configure the component. Based on the configuration, I will give you a bomb at the time of selling and at the time of production, so that the bomb will be very virtual, and the bomb will be based on the configuration you are creating. Instead of creating 768 bomb, what I will do, it is I will maintain one universal bomb. What I will do, it is I will create a item called laptop, under which I will maintain all this thing. I will maintain all the items of all, like, the RAM assembly of 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, and 32 GB, and hard drive assembly of 500 GB, 1 TB, all these things under one super universal bomb. And based on that one, based on you configure, I'll pick the item from this one and prepare a order bomb and production bomb which is relevant to that particular sales transaction. So by that way, you will avoid of maintaining one super bomb in the place of 768 individual bombs. So this is the main purpose of having variant configuration. This is the first question you need to address to the business, that this is the data burden you are reducing by choosing variant configuration as a module for your business. That is how the problem of variant configuration is addressed, and justification of variant configuration implementation has been addressed. Let us start creating the master data of SAP variant configuration. So first, let us create configurable material. So what I will do that, so normally everybody follows a naming conventions. There is a naming convention which everybody used to follow, but for their project, and even in variant configuration implementation also people used to follow. So let us have a, I will have a a nomenclature of wm underscore. So this is going, so every master data I'm going to create for our course, it will start with WM. So which will be, which will be easy for you to understand, or let us assume that that is a naming convention we are going to follow as of now. So let me take this example and go to SAP screen. So you all know that the transaction code to create a material is MM01. Generally, it goes with mechanical engineering. Configurable material normally in your the legitimate SAP system is, this is an idea system which will be used by multiple people. So you will see the most the most customized things and all, you will be seeing it, which has been accessed by regularly by other peoples also. So in general, a configurable material is created with the industrial sector of mechanical engineering, and the material type is configurable material, which is KMAT. KMAT is the type of the material that you'll be using. This one, industry type is mechanical. In general, it may vary based on the customization of material you are using in your project or your industry. And but the material type is widely, it is a configurable material type, or KMAT is the
So,
type you will be. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, you
this
can
is
interrupt him whenever you wanted, because that is how the course has to move now. Yes, yes, please.
right. So, this is the basic prerequisite to have this material type as a configurable, or I can use any material type for this variant
You
configuration.
you can use any material type. See, generally, you will face an issue of, if the material master module is already implemented, and you might be having other material also, but there are multiple customization might be required to to make that material as a configurable material. If you are using configurable material, the required options and all will be selected automatically for this one. You can use any material, but you should take care some parts. I'll tell you what are all that.
Mhm.
So here, basic data one, classification, you have to select sales data. This MRP4, all the four MRP views are important for selecting that. Accounting view, as of now, let us select. Plant so we'll say laptop, configured material, basic unit of measurements EA, and material group and all I don't have to select. The basic data view, I would say So let me choose the right one. Save. Let me say finished code. Finished material group. Basic data one. It is not having the configurable. Classification, as of now we don't have to do anything, because I'll come to that once we create our class, and we will assign it later, because we have to create a class first. Before to that, let us see about this and all. That is fine. Okay. Here the material group is there. So material group is there, and in the sales view too. Okay. In the sales or view too, this item category group is there, right? So this has to be 002. That's what you are. That's what the answer for your question. So you can have any type of material, but the item category group has to be 0002, which is which is predefined for your configurable material, or the item category group, the item category group which has to be configured similar to this 0002. This will have all this the item category group 0002 will have all the options that are required for a configurable material. For example, the item category that is getting determined in the sales order will be TAC or TAN, or the configured item category which is similar to the item category TAN and TAC. So that is very important. You can have you can have any type of material to make a material as a configurable material, but the item category group has to be 002 generally. So that is what the prerequisite or a mandatory thing for a material, or mandatory thing for a configurable material, or mandatory thing for a material to make it as a configurable component. And also in the MRP view, MRP type has to be PD. Basically, PD means the planned one, because generally you should not use ND if you're having a material, because configurable part requires a planning, MRP planning. No planning material cannot be used as a configurable material, configurable this one. And the MRP type has to be PD basically, and the strategy group. Okay, so these are all the things which could be anything for this one, but who's market controller, say that one, it is lot size 1. Today yeah, besides this procurement type, this and all could be anything for a material. There's a thing called strategy group. Yeah, here it is. Strategy group that comes in MRP 3, which has to be any of this one, whether it is a make to order with no assembly order, or make to order, make to stock, whatever it is. There you have to select it. Generally it is to some 0025. This one, make to order for configurable material, you need to select, generally it will be 25 or 26, these three, make to order for material variant, make to order for configurable material. This thing will be generally configured by the PP guys, if the variant configuration project is been planned to implement, and wherein you can select this value accordingly for your use. But generally the strategy group, the strategy group has to be either 25 or 26, or similar to the configuration of 25 and 26. So these are the key important things you need to take care while creating a material configurable or make a existing material to a configurable thing. The first one is the item category group. The item category group has to be 0002, and the second thing is the MRP type, which has to be PD, or the similar configuration of PD, which is relevant for planning, and this strategy group, which has to be 25, which is relevant for configurable material. So these things are quite important to create a material, to create a configurable material, or to make an existing material as a configurable material. So I'm just saving this.
Okay, Vamian, now the prerequisites, it's 2 or 3. And if I need to change material type, I have to assign the item category to be configurable material and the strategy group to be 25, or any strategy group of configurable material. This is the
Exactly.
prerequisite for.
Exactly. Yes. As far as material master record is concerned, these are all the prerequisites for a configured material or to make the material as a configured material. And again, there are other parts also. There are other things also that has to be done. Over a period of time, we will see that one. What are the important things? I will explain you.
Material type, it should be BD as well.
Pardon me, I didn't get your question.
Material type, it should be as well BD. We have now 3 prerequisites.
No, material type is normally KMAT, configured material for the predefined configured material. As per standard SAP, it is KMAT. You can have the material, you can have the HALB, the semi-finished and the FERT also. But again, there are multiple other settings as we have seen. Like, the item category group has to be 002 and all these things and all has to be maintained for this one.
Okay.
Valuation class. Where I have valuation class.
My finished product, like here in this scenario, laptop, it should
Okay.
be with the material type like configurable material, but the sub items like RAM, hard disk, and other stuff, it could be for any other material type like Java or
Yes, those are all
this.
the things we will create over a period of time when we are creating the BOM. I'm just creating a finished good under which that RAM assembly, hard drive assembly will come as a child item under this material.
Right.
Yeah, you will understand at the time of creating the BOM how we are creating the BOM for it and how we are selecting the right item based on the configuration we are doing. All these things and all will be coming when we are covering the BOM part of this class. Is it clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. The material that has been created over here. So the next thing it is creation of classification system. The creation of, before getting the creation of characteristics and the creation of classification system. So what is a classification system and what is a characteristics? Characteristics is nothing but the parameters and options, or the features and options that define the configurable product are called as characteristics. Basically, characteristics are called as the basic unit of variant configuration or the fundamental unit of a variant configuration. So those are all the features, or those are all the parameters, or those are the objects that define the configurable product. And in variant configuration term, it is called as the characteristics. Let us create, let us assume these are all going to be your these 5 features. Over a period of time, we'll be adding many features along with this one. Let us assume that these are all the 6 basic features that is going to define your configurable product laptop. So if these are all the product, so what is going to be how we can create a characteristics, or how we can define the characteristics of a configurable product. This is the basic step of any variant configuration consultant or any product configuration consultant. How first he has to understand the product, how the product is structured basically, and if he is able to break the structure of the product, structure of the configurable product, then he can be able to define the parameters and options of a configurable product. For example, if you take a laptop can be structured into RAM, HDD, operating size, operating system, color, screen size, and keyboard. So like that, every configurable product should be structured like this, and that unit of structure is called as characteristics basically. And here we have characteristics of RAM, hard drive, operating system, color of the laptop, screen size, and keyboard. So I'm going to create a characteristics for RAM as WM underscore RAM, and my hard drive is going to be HDD, and my operating system is going to be OS, and my color is going to be and my screen size is going to be my keyboard is going to be okay. So now that I have defined my characteristics, which is the fundamental unit or fundamental method of doing the product configuration, and I have defined those parameters here, and let us see how we have to create this in a SAP system. This is called these are called as the master data of SAP variant configuration. These things, these characteristics, material master are all the master data of SAP variant configuration, and all these are very client independent. It is client specific. It is not plant specific. It is a very important thing that you need to understand. You need to address your business, that business will think that I want to implement SAP variant configuration for this plant. Okay, which means that you will be creating all those master data for that plant. That doesn't mean that it is exclusively for that plant. It is a client specific. You can extend this to any type of plant. It is a client specific, but it is not a plant specific. You need to have that in mind actually. Once you create this one, this can be assigned to any material, any material of the plant, wherein it will work very similarly until you define how it has to work for that particular plant through your variant configuration rules. That you will understand over a period of time, but have it in mind always that VC master data, the variant configuration master data, is a client specific, not a plant specific. Okay, so now let us create the characteristics. The characteristics, the transaction code to create the characteristics is CT04. Let me create the first characteristics, RAM. The change number, it is a part of engineering change management, which is again which will have very important which will have a very high importance when you're having engineering change management in place. So wherein you should update or create the master data object of variant configuration with the change number, but that is not the scope of our this thing. Generally for a very high complex product, they will be using the change number. It is a part of your product life cycle. As a process of life cycle, the product will undergo continuous changes and all. So when you're changing the product, when you're changing the feature of the product, you should ensure that the change should not impact your existing production line or existing product line until some particular date. So to manage that kind of scenarios, we'll be using change number. See, for example, in the earlier point of time and all, the laptop was having a CD drive, and the later it got replaced by, or it got superseded by a DVD drive. Now there is no drive at all are USBs only, so which is a part of your product life cycle. So when you're planning to obsolete the DVD drive and replace that with all USB drives, you may have to add some options in your classification system, or you may have to delete some options from your classification system, but you should ensure that that is not affecting your existing product line until some period of time. So for that only, you will create a change number, and you will have a validity of the change number in a future, maybe for after 1 year it has to come into picture. So if you add the USB parameter in your classification system along with the change number which is having the validity of future, until that date comes, that will not come into effect. So for that purpose only, you'll be using your change number. So now generally this is for your informational purpose only, but which is not a part of our course, because it is a PLM area, product lifecycle management area, in which the engineering change management comes into picture. But you should know this one, why it has been used, because for all your variant configuration things, you'll be seeing this change number because it's a part of a product lifecycle. Hit enter. Yes, I'm going to create the characteristics. Okay, here this description is a very important one, because this is what your customer who is going to configure the laptop is going to see. What you are seeing here is a technical name. The WM underscore RAM is a technical name, whereas the description what you're giving here is the description which your customer is going to see, one who is configuring the laptop. The characteristic group, status group, authorization group, these are all your client specific data, which will be normally given by the people who is defining the SAP for your corporate. And for example, if it is a laptop group, the characteristic group should come under the electronics division of that particular business. A business will have multiple divisions: electrical division, electronic division, semiconductor division, chemicals divisions. All those things will be there. So under which division, under which business it has to come, all these things will be comes under the characteristic group and authorization group. And again, this is a informational purpose only, but functionally it is not having any importance with the data what you are creating. And this is a very very important field in the creation of characters, whether the data is going to be a character format, date format, or what is going to be the type of your data. Generally, it is a data will be the character type.
Uh,
But if you're
yeah.
creating a if you're creating any characteristics or feature which is, hello? Yeah, the data type is of what you're seeing here are all the data type in which predominantly handling with the character format or the numeric format. The character format is generally the your alphabet characters or your English languages it will be. And numeric means that the feature which handles the number. There are some features will be there are some characteristics will be used for doing the calculations to do the product configuration. So that part of time we'll be using the numeric format. So our RAM is going to be the character format, and I'm selecting the character format. In that one, number of characters is nothing but how many numbers of characters that your definition the definition of your characteristic values are going to have. So here if you see, my RAM is, this is one, say 4 is one characteristic space and GB. Okay, so it is hardly 3 characteristics it is taking. So based on that one, you can define. So the maximum number of character you can define is 30 as per SAP standard. But for this one, I need some 5 characters. And after defining this value assignment part, this is very very important, whether it is a single value characteristics or multiple value characteristics. What is single value and what is multiple value? Single value means during my product configuration, how many parameters are allowed for that particular selection. For example, if you take, if your customer is configuring the laptop, only one value is allowed to select for a RAM. He cannot select 2 RAMs for a single laptop, or multiple RAM for a single laptop, or multiple hard drive for a single laptop. He can select only one value at the time of selection. So that is what, if it is one value, then that has to be selected as a single value characteristics. But if the user is selecting multiple values, sometimes, say for example, if you're having a characteristic called accessories, I will have mouse, mouse pad, and headset, webcam, what else, or cleaning kit. Cleaning kit or laptop bag. So here with accessories characteristics, a customer can select multiple number of values. So that point of time, or while creating the accessories feature, you may um, accessories feature, you may have to use the multiple value type of a characteristics. So we'll see that one when we're creating that one. So that is what this value assignment defines. At the time of configuration, what the user is going to select, whether it is a single value or multiple value. So whether the RAM is the multiple value characteristics, this restrictable and entry required, we will be seeing when we are seeing the dependencies such as selection conditions, procedures, all these things and all we will be creating, right? So again, that is also a part of your variant configuration master data. So at that point of time, I will explain what is restrictable and what is entry required. You will understand that when we see that dependency part of the part of this course. So these things and all, it is very important in the basic data. In the description part, here you can use it for multiple languages generally. And values. So what are all the values you are going to use? I'm going to use 4, 8, 16 and 32. So I'm going to use 4 GB, 8 GB RAM, 16 GB and 32 GB. So these are all the technical values, and the description of what you're going to enter here is going to be seen by your customer who is configuring the laptop. Okay. This additional data, these are the things I will explain you in a little later. So how these are all the things which is defined, this document part which is not relevant to your variant configuration classes. It is something to do with your document management class. That is again a part of your documentation management system, which is a part of a PLM system. And this table name and field name, which is a part of a reference characteristic, that I will cover when we are coming for the usage of reference characteristics and all. And this not ready for input, no display allowed values, that we will see it in a little while. And restrictions also, this is also again a BOM relevant thing. You will see, you will understand, or you will come to know when we are creating the BOM type and all. Okay, so I have defined all the things that are relevant for my this thing. And be careful, or always have that information, like whether it is a multiple value or single value characteristics, and the number of values to be defined. So these are okay. You can edit all the things, all the parameters in the characteristics even after creation also, but you cannot edit what is the data type and whether it is a single value or multiple value. So that is why you have to be very careful, and you have to be well informed while at the time of creation what is the data type and what is going to be the value assignment, because once you create that one, these two things you cannot change. Okay, so I'm saving this. Okay, so now that my first characteristics got created, in the same way I'm going to create the hard drive also. The data type is going to be character format. Let's say I need 10 characteristics. It is going to be a single value only, and description is already there. And in the values, I'm going to say I'll add multiple values. So 500 GB, 1 TB, say 4 TB, 6 TB, and 8 TB. Okay. Or I'll say okay. So I'm just saving this. Okay, so now I have created two characteristics which is required for my classes. And okay, let me quickly say one more multiple value characteristics. Let's say WM accessories. Laptop accessories, and data type is equal to character format. Let me say 30, and let me see it as multiple value characteristics, and that value I'll say all this. Okay, so I say this. So now you have created some three characteristics with this one. The other thing and all, we will over a period of we will create it, or otherwise I will send this data sheet to you. Maybe as a practice you can create it if you want. If you have a time, you can create it, or otherwise I will create it for our further classes and all. But for characters creations, these are the basic things that needs to be considered while creating the characteristics. So we have created the characteristics, and let us create the classification system. Okay, to create the classification system, the transaction code is CL01, and that this is going to be my class, and the type of the class is 300. It is very important to know that one, what is the class type of a variant configuration, or what is the class type of a configurable product. It is 300. There are many class types which are, there are some 001 is there, 010 is there, 010 is there, 001 is there. Many types of classes you can see in that is a part of other things and all. But for variant configuration, we'll be dealing with 200 and 300 classes. What is 200 classes? That I will cover when the BOM part is coming up. The 200 and this 300 and 200 classes important for configurable product. And for variant class, for the variant configuration, we will be dealing mainly with the 300 classification system. 200 is, when you will be seeing when we are having the material variant part of it. Okay, that is for 200 variant, and how it works and all I will explain when we are seeing the material master, the BOM part of variant configuration. So 300 is the class type you have to select. Enter. Laptop class. Again, go to characteristics page, wherein you can enter the created characteristics here, your hard drive, and now as of now the accessories. Okay, so these characteristics are, you're collating that feature, you're collating the feature that are defined in the configurable product under a 300 classification system. So this is how the configuration structure of a configurable product has been created. First is you have to create a KMAT, configurable material. Then you have to create the characteristics, which are all nothing but the features and options of a configurable product. Then you are collating or you're grouping all those characteristics under the 300 class, which is nothing but the WM laptop class. Now I'm saving this. So now the assignment of this class to be done to your configurable material. You can do it in two ways. The first way is in your material master. Go to MM02 and this material, hit enter, select the classification system. You can unselect other things. Okay, and here you can assign, come on, you can assign your classification systems, which is CL, which is laptop underscore class. You hit enter, your laptop class got assigned over here, and save this. And when you are assigning the laptop class, you can see the characteristics that are associated with that class, because these are the characteristics you have already assigned to this class, and you can see it at the time of assigning this class to your material over here. And I'm just saving this.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the assignment of classification system is in two ways. One is with your material master, just which is just we have seen, that is MM02, enter the material, and with the classification system, select the classification, and you can assign the class. The other one is the transaction code CL24N. In that one, you have to enter the class, and under that you can assign your material. The material got already assigned there, and if you want to assign in one more material for that class, then you have to go with new assignments. Yeah, again, it is basically there are two ways of assigning the class. One is with the transaction code MM02, and the other one is with the other one is with the CL24N transaction code. Make a note of the transaction code CL24N. In that one, you can go with new material assignment, and you can assign the material. Okay, so this is basically the objective is to explain how you are assigning your 300 class to your material master. So just to summarize what we have seen so far is, we have created a material master with the MM01 transaction code, and we have created the features or characteristics. Generally, characteristics is the term used in variant configuration. We have created these things, and we have created the laptop class. So now under the laptop class, we have grouped all our characteristics. Then we have assigned this laptop class to our material. This assignment can be done in two ways. One is with MM02, the other one is with the CL24N. Is it clear till this one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The configurable data, material master data part of it. To summarize it, making, creating a material. So if you have a statement like this, the first thing it is, create a material with kmat type, comma, item category group equal to 0002, comma, MRP type equal to PD, comma, strategy group equal to 25 or 26. The second thing it is, assignment of 300 type class in MM02 or CL24N. Okay, the third important thing to make a configurable material is creation of configuration profile. Okay, so so the basic question will be, I have created a material. I have created the material. So does it make? Can I do the configuration while I'm creating the sales order? No. Or I have created a material with the KMAT and with item category group 002 and all these things and all. Still, a material is a configurable material? No. You have to assign a 300 class with it. Then also, it is not a configurable material until you create a configuration profile for it. So what is the important of all these three? You will understand when we go to the sales order. So until that, always remember, to make a material configurable or to create a configurable material, these three steps are very important. Otherwise, you cannot make a material as a configurable material. So what happens if you are not able to make a material as a configurable material? That we'll see it now. So the next thing in the creation or making a material configurable is to create the configuration profile. To create the configuration profile, the transaction code is CU41. CU41 is the transaction code. The configuration profile of the material will be created in the name of your configurable material, which is okay. The profile name will be always, you can give any number of any number here in the priority. Again, a configurable material can have, or a configurable material, you can have multiple configuration profile for a configurable material. So what if I have a multiple configuration profile? That I will explain when we are creating the sales order. So generally, the name of the configuration profile will be very similar to the name of the material as per the standard, but you can give any number of any type of name here also. But let us say it is a sales configuration of or what I will say, it is Hamburg sales. And in that one, what is the type of class you are using? It is a 300 class always. Enter it, click enter, hit enter. Then now double click this one. When you double click this one, you will see these two tabs in this configuration initial screen. So this part is very, very, very important, and it's a very key how your configuration is getting defined. So for what purpose you are creating the or you are implementing the variant configuration, or you are implementing the configurable product solution for your ERP or supply chain. So this part defines most of it basically. So generally, for make to order scenario, it is order bomb. It is order bomb for production scenarios. For production scenarios, if you are creating a, or if you are implementing a variant configuration solution to get a production bomb, then it is a production planned or production order. If it is a make to order scenario wherein you have order bomb first, and based on that order bomb you will be running a MRP, and based on that MRP your planned order will be there, and that planned order will be converted into production order based on the availability of the item. Then from the production order, it is a the complete the production and logistical process. So for what purpose? Based on your supply chain and ERP planning process, this thing will be basically selected generally. Okay, order to make a material configurable. To make a material configurable, the three important steps here are the creation of KMAT with the item category group 002, MRP type PD, and strategy group. Okay, right.